If you're trying to make them regret losing you, you're already losing. Real regret doesn't come from long paragraphs or "look what you missed" posts. It only shows up when they actually lose access to you, and when your life clearly gets better without them. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that without saying a word, by changing what you signal to them and to yourself. Chapter 1. Why trying to make them regret you backfires. Let's be honest. Most people in your position don't actually want healing at first. They want a scene. In that scene, it's months from now. You look better, you're laughing, you're surrounded by people who actually show up. And somewhere out there, they're staring at their screen thinking, how did I let them go? That fantasy is addictive. It's what your brain grabs onto when you feel rejected or humiliated. And if you're watching this at 2 in the morning, replaying the same conversation for the 50th time, you already know this video is about you. Here's what really happens for most people. They say it's over, but they keep performing for the person who left. They're still living like that person is the main audience. They post things hoping that one name will see it. They check who watched their stories. They answer every breadcrumb just to stay on the radar. Let me give you just one example. You type out a long message, deleting, rewriting, trying to find the exact sentence that will finally make them understand what they lost. You hit send. They give you a short, flat reply. Or they don't reply at all. You don't feel powerful, you feel smaller. That's not making them regret you. That's giving them proof that they still have access to you whenever they want it. From a psychology perspective, real regret needs 2 things. First, a genuine sense of loss. They have to feel, I don't have this person anymore. I can't just get their attention whenever I feel like it. Second, comparison. They have to see that your life looks clearly better now than it did when they had you. When you're still performing, still replying instantly, still orbiting their attention, you give them neither. There is no real loss because your energy is still on tap. There is no painful comparison because you're stuck in the same loop. So yes, if you're trying to make them regret losing you in ways they can see, you are already losing. Your nervous system is still organized around their reaction, and that is exactly what we're about to break. Chapter 2. The quiet cut, removing their access. So if chasing doesn't work, what does? The first move is brutally simple. You quietly remove their access, not with a dramatic speech, not with a "you'll be sorry" monologue. Just a calm decision that this person no longer gets unlimited access to you. On the outside, that looks very boring. You stop replying to late-night hey texts that never lead anywhere. You stop rushing to open their stories or like their posts the second they go up. You stop using your own page as a performance for their eyes. You don't announce it. You don't post quotes about cutting people off, hoping they'll get the message. You simply stop feeding a connection they already treated like a backup plan. In dark psychology and influence, there's a basic rule. People don't value what feels endless. They value what feels like it could be gone. When your attention, your empathy, and your time are always available on demand, they become cheap. When you step back, no tantrum, no public meltdown, just consistent distance, the pattern breaks. Their brain is used to, I reach out, you respond. The first time they reach out and you don't, or you respond calmly, briefly, and hours later, something registers. They may not feel full regret yet, but they feel discomfort, an unfamiliar gap where there used to be instant reassurance. Practically, that might look like this. You mute their notifications so your day isn't hijacked by their random impulses. You unfollow or hide their content if seeing them drags you back into obsession. When they do message, you keep it short, neutral, and on your time, not theirs. You're not punishing them. You're recalibrating how close they're allowed to stand to your life. But silence alone isn't enough. Silence without this next step is just waiting. Chapter 3. Outgrowing them is the real revenge. Here's the part that actually breaks their ego. Cutting access creates a gap. What you do inside that gap determines whether you become a real loss or just a pause. Most people treat this like a self-help checklist. Sleep more, drink water, go to the gym. It sounds like homework. It doesn't match the dark psychology vibe at all. So let's call it what it really is: biological signaling. When your sleep is wrecked and your body is constantly in stress mode, you're not just tired. You're broadcasting on a primal level. I'm in a distress. I'm desperate. I'll grab at any attention that makes me feel okay for 5 minutes. When you start fixing your sleep and taking basic care of your body, you're not just being healthy. You are changing the signal you send. A tired, anxious, overstimulated brain projects prey energy. A rested, grounded, physically stronger body projects something else entirely. On a primal level, that shift is intimidating. A regulated nervous system doesn't react to bait. And if you can't be baited, you can't be controlled. The same thing happens with your routines and habits. When you start consistently working, learning, training, building, not in a manic, look what you missed way, but in a slow, stubborn way, you send another signal. I have a life now. I'm not orbiting you anymore. Slowly, your world fills up with things that have nothing to do with them. New people who actually text back. New experiences that don't circle around their mood. New skills, money, opportunities, or just a calmer nervous system. To them, from the outside, it might look like a glow-up. Psychologically, it's colder than that. You're shifting from, I am available at a discount, to, I am expensive to access. Your time feels expensive. Your energy is directed. Your attention is no longer something they can summon with a lazy, hey. Most people stay stuck in discount mode their whole life. A few people snap once, quietly, and never go back. On a dark psych level, this forces a brutal comparison in their mind. This is who they're becoming, and that evolution happened without me. You didn't just cut them off. You outgrew the version of you they were comfortable mistreating, and that's the version they can no longer reach. Chapter 4. When their regret finally shows up. And this is where the dynamic flips forever. If you actually do this, if you remove their access and upgrade your signal, their regret when it comes won't feel like you imagined. It might show up as something small, a random, hey, how have you been? A like on a photo months after no contact. A clumsy admission like, I know I messed up with you. Old you would have screenshotted it and sent it to 5 friends asking, what does this mean? New you reads it differently. You have a routine now. You have people, plans, projects, or at the very least, a level of peace you didn't have before. Their message is no longer oxygen, it's just data. You're not thinking, finally they see my worth. You're thinking, do I even want this person near the life I have now? That's the real dark twist. The point of all this was never to make them suffer. The point was to stop you organizing your entire life around someone who already showed you their capacity. Their regret, if it shows up, is just an echo. It doesn't change the work you did in the quiet. It doesn't erase the nights you had to sit with the loss alone. The real power move isn't them finally wishing they hadn't lost you. It's you refusing to slide back just because they finally woke up. You didn't just make them regret losing you. You became someone they no longer have the privilege to access.